Most of us grow up with a very specific idea of how a bank works. We picture a giant, secure vault where people safely deposit their savings, and the bank simply takes that pile of cash and lends it out to other people. That image shatters when you look at how the system actually operates. Banks possess a legal superpower. Every time they issue a loan, they create brand new money out of thin air. To see how this works, let's look at an entrepreneur named Miriam. Miriam builds bicycles, and she wants to buy a specialized manufacturing machine so she can build frames out of carbon fiber. She needs $500,000 for this machine, so she walks into her local bank and asks for a 5-year loan. The bank agrees. Yet the money they are about to give Miriam exists nowhere, not in a vault, and not in any other customer's savings account. If the bank isn't handing over someone else's money, where exactly does her $500,000 come from? The banker simply opens up Miriam's account profile, types a 5 followed by 5 zeros, and presses enter. Pressing that key instantly births $500,000 into the economy. This frictionless digital creation is a radical departure from the past. Historically, creating money required intense physical labor. People spent months mining metals from the earth to forge coins and secure them behind thick steel doors. Modern banking relies almost entirely on this keyboard trick. The vast majority of our money is simply digital data, generated on demand. It's natural to wonder how typed numbers can buy a real physical machine. To a beginner, this might look like a scam. The process makes sense if you look at the bank as a time travel agency. The loan acts as a bridge between the present and the future. Typing those numbers opens a portal, allowing today's Miriam to reach through time to the Miriam of 5 years from now. Present-day Miriam snatches the profits she expects to make and drags them back to spend today. This entire process relies on faith, or credit. The banker believes that future Miriam will actually succeed and produce the real goods needed to replace those typed numbers. Debt is the act of extracting exchange value from your own future production. But what happens if Miriam's business goes bankrupt? What if that successful future Miriam never actually comes into existence? If that future value is spent today but never produced tomorrow, the timeline breaks. When thousands of bankers act as reckless time agents, they build an economy on futures that simply vanish. When these collective futures fail to materialize all at once, the system suffers a catastrophic real-world crash. A financial crisis is the sudden, brutal realization that the wealth we pulled from the future was only a mirage. Despite these risks, this cycle of debt is mandatory. Without it, our markets grind to a halt, causing the kind of mass suffering seen during the Great Depression. To prevent total collapse when the banks break the timeline, governments and central banks must step in. They use their own magic keyboards to guarantee the system and keep the economy moving. The numbers in your bank account represent legally binding promises pulled from the future. They are the gears that make the entire economy a magnificent, fragile time machine.